Before I begin, and it's already been mentioned, let me share a fun fact. In 2014, I completed a certificate program in public relations, advertising, and marketing right here at the Ghana Institute of Journalism. So in a sense, I am back home. This time with a little hair and a PhD. I often wonder what if AI had been as powerful and accessible then as it is today. I might have asked ChatGPT to help me write my PR briefs or use machine learning to analyze campaign impact. But here we are, at the moment when we once seemed futuristic, it has become very fundamental. And that's what today's conversation is why today's conversation is so important. Globally, algorithms are shaping decisions across sectors. In healthcare, AI is enabling early disease detection through diagnostic imaging and predictive analytics. In transportation, cities like Singapore have developed AI to manage traffic and optimize public transport. Financial institutions use AI to detect fraud, automate credit scoring, and enhance customer service. Education systems apply adaptive learning algorithms to personalize content. In agriculture, AI-driven models are forecasting weather and improving yield efficiency. National security agencies also leverage AI for cyber threat intelligence and surveillance. Across the globe, nations are asking a central question: how will AI redefine work? And what must we do to ensure no one is left behind? After reading several reports and data on AI, I decided to do something simple by revealing. I picked up a phone and called my nephew, who is currently in school, and I asked, what do you and your friends think about AI and work after school? He didn't hesitate. Uncle Bryan, he said, AI is nice, but it can do everything now. What's going to be left for us? We are afraid we'll finish school and stand up and still end up jobless because robots will do everything that we're supposed to be doing. His response struck a chord, and not because he was wrong. In fact, the fear is increasingly common among young people, not only in Ghana, but around the world. I've heard similar concerns from university students, junior staff at the ministry, even fresh graduates. And yes, it's true. AI is automating many tasks we once thought only humans could do. It's writing reports, designing graphics, analyzing data, even diagnosing diseases. So the anxiety is valid. But here is what I told my nephew, and I want to tell all of you today. AI may change jobs, but it does not erase human value. It replaces tasks, not people. It automates routine, but it also amplifies creativity. The future doesn't belong to machines. It belongs to humans who know how to work with the machines. Instead of seeing AI as a threat, we must see it as a tool to extend our capabilities. You may not need to memorize long reports anymore, but you will need to know how to ask better questions, interpret AI outputs, and think critically about solutions. You may not need to manually sift through pages of data, but you will need to know how to tell meaningful stories from insights AI gives you. That's where the real value and opportunity lies, in developing skills that machines cannot replace, like emotional intelligence, ethical reasoning, communication, collaboration, creative problem solving. These are irreplaceable human skills, and that will define leadership in the AI age. And for those of you with an entrepreneurial mindset, The prospects are even more exciting. AI lowers the cost of starting business, speeds up product development, and enables you to serve global clients from your dorm room. You don't need a 100-person team to build a brand. You just need curiosity, strategy, and access to AI tools. So I say to every student, don't be afraid of robots. Master them, use them. Leverage AI not to diminish your potential, but to multiply it. Let AI make you more efficient, more innovative, and more competitive. The future of work is not about who gets replaced, it's about who gets ready. We are a country of young minds, of untapped potential, and extraordinary resilience. But we are also a country facing widening skills gaps, a public sector stretched thin, and institutions still grappling with digital transformation. As someone who has served in public office and also studied the adoption of intelligence systems in institutional environments, I am convinced that we cannot afford to be passive in this moment. The challenge before us is not whether we will use it. The challenge is not whether we will use AI, but whether we will lead it, shape it, and deploy it to serve Ghanaians' lives and livelihoods. I have devoted significant time to explore the intersections of trust, institutional responsiveness, and technology adoption through multiple lenses: education, governance, the public service transformation. These studies reveal that the successes of AI and digital transformation is not only simply determined by technical functionality, but how well people and institutions are prepared to engage these tools. Regarding technological trust, my co-authored study or publication in 2023 on the acceptance of ChatGPT in education, Acheampong et al. 2023, found that trust is the bedrock of technology adoption among students. Trust. Trust was not derived from mere exposure to AI tools, but rather from the perceived usefulness, transparency, and ethical clarity surrounding their use. Students were more willing to engage with AI platforms when they could clearly understand their purpose, see alignment with their learning goals, feel assured that these tools respected their autonomy. This simply implies that trust in AI is not just psychological, it is structural, shaped by communication, user experience, and value alignment. For Ghana, building trust means involving users early, ensuring algorithmic fairness, and demystifying AI through inclusive dialogues. Concerning institutional responsiveness, it speaks to the ability of government bodies, ministries, agencies to respond strategically and ethically to technological change. Again, in my work on integrated financial management systems, Acheampong and Beatty 2020, we argue that reforms fail because they are driven by external pressure on technical threats, not institutional understanding. When interoperability initiatives were introduced without deep engagement with end users, civil servants, auditors, local managers, it became underutilized and even rejected. This shows that institutions must be adaptive, communicative, learning-oriented, and responsive. Responsiveness includes having feedback mechanisms, change management protocols, and cross-functional leadership teams that can align digital goals with public values. Regarding AI adoption in education and governance, and this is important for our professors and rectors, the adoption of contactless technologies during the COVID-19 period, which I studied using the Technology Organization Environment Framework in Bryan Acheampong and Acheampong 2022, highlighted that adoption is multidimensional. It is not just about having the right technology, which is AI tools, but also about organizational readiness and external factors like infrastructure and regulation. This model is critical for AI in both education and governance. Institutions must not only invest in tools, but also in strategic frameworks that support uptake training and alignment with mission goals. In the public sector especially, my research suggests that successful adoption is contingent on mutual understanding among stakeholders, as explored in my work on platform interoperability, Bryan Acheampong and Beatty in 2019. Silos must be broken. Policy, IT, and operational departments must co-design digital solutions, not simply implement them in sequence. So today, I want to speak with you about how Ghana can empower the youth to embrace AI for work, how Ghana can build an intelligent, job-creating economy grounded in three strong pillars: trust in systems, adaptable human capital, and institutional readiness. The goal is not just to embrace artificial intelligence, but to use it to unlock real economic value for young people, entrepreneurs, our farmers, and our public institutions. So let us examine where we stand and where we must go. Situating Ghana in the global AI economy. Think about it. AI now writes, speaks, predicts, diagnoses, translates, and even paints. It is a tool of cognitive augmentation and creative expression. Even closer to home, right here in Rwanda, they've launched a national AI policy and is integrating AI into healthcare diagnostics and agricultural planning. These developments raise an important question for us. Where does Ghana stand in this rapidly changing landscape? To be honest, our position is not yet defined. Ghana has made quite some admirable strides in digital inclusion. We have improved internet penetration, made significant reforms in mobile money infrastructure, and launched the Ghana card as a biometric foundation for digital identity. But that's just about it. Young men that are exploring AI are basically on their own. In the transportation sector, ride-hailing platforms such as Uber and Bolt have significantly disrupted the traditional taxi industry. These AI-driven platforms use algorithms to match drivers with passengers, calculating dynamic pricing based on demand, and optimize routes in real time, changing how mobility services are accessed in modern Ghana. And I'm sure you all know Uber does. Uber has not changed the distance from your location to your destination. The same amount of time that it will take the taxi to get there is the same time that Uber will also get there. What Uber has changed is the information that tells you how long it will take for you to stand and wait for the cab. That is just it. And it has caused major disruption and created $1 billion industry, just telling you how long it will take for your ride to get there. In the education sector, the introduction of ChatGPT, the students' favorite, and AI-powered learning assistants is altering how students research. And we should encourage them. How students write and interact with academic content. I listened to the Reverend talk about all the AI policies and why you should stay away from ChatGPT and the way you should use it. I am on your side. As highlighted in my own research, students in Ghanaian tertiary institutions are using AI tools to draft essays, simulate arguments, and generate content online, often bypassing traditional methods of inquiry. The shift challenges educators to rethink assessments. Educators must rethink assessments, uphold academic integrity, and integrate AI literacy into curricula, or else very soon the educators themselves will be replaced. In retail commerce, companies like Haptel, a Ghanaian company, has a baby, and everything that you see on the right side of your screen is baby clothing. That is what AI is doing to you. In the banking sector, fintech platforms such as ZP and Float are deploying AI for fraud apps such as AgroCenter and Farmerline. These interventions are shifting the role of farmers from manual laborers to data-enabled managers. Together, these examples signal a broader trend. AI is not coming, it is here. The disruption is not distant, it is now. As Ghana's youth prepare for a future of work, they must understand these shifts, anticipate emerging roles, and build competencies that align with a rapidly transforming economic landscape. From a scholarly perspective, I have observed these challenges closely. In a recent academic collaboration on the acceptance of ChatGPT among university students in Ghana, we found that trust, digital self-efficacy, and perceived value strongly influence students' willingness to engage with AI tools. The insights here is simple, yet profound. People adopt what they trust. People adopt what they trust. And trust is built not by technology alone, but by experience and inclusion. The same applies to institutions. In my doctoral research on mutual understanding in technology adoption within public institutions, I examined why digital reforms often stall in Ghana. The answer is not merely technical, it is institutional. When civil servants, community members, or business stakeholders are not meaningfully involved in the design and rollout of a new technology, those technologies are likely to be underutilized, resisted, and abandoned. This is especially true with AI, which requires a much deeper level of interpretability and explanation. So where does that leave us? Ghana is not lagging because we lack talent or ideas. We are lagging because we lack a coherent national posture on AI. We do not have a structured vision that links AI adoption to economic transformation, job creation, and public sector efficiency. Without such a framework, we risk becoming permanent consumers of technologies developed in vastly different social and cultural contexts. Tools built on data sets, assumptions, and norms that may not resonate with or serve our realities. These imported systems may reinforce bias, exclude local languages, prioritize commercial metrics over community well-being. For example, AI recruitment tools on foreign data may unfairly filter out qualified Ghanaian candidates due to linguistic and institutional biases. Health diagnosis algorithms designed in Europe may interpret conditions common in African populations due to underrepresentation in training data. If you get malaria in Ghana, no problem. Your employers may not allow you to stay home because you have malaria. In America, if you have malaria, you will be quarantined, kept in a special room for days. Malaria. In Ghana, you call your boss, I'm not coming to work before I have malaria, and that probably is the last day on the job. If we are not intentional, we could automate inequality. What Ghana needs is a national AI strategy that is uniquely ours, one that reflects our developmental priorities, anticipates our demographic trends, and protects our data sovereignty. We must define where we want to go in agriculture, AI in education, AI in finance, AI in governance, and back that vision with infrastructure, policy, and talent development. This is how we move from reactive adoption to strategic leadership, from digital dependency to digital sovereignty. In the next session, I would like to highlight where artificial intelligence intersects most critically with Ghana's economy, our schools, public service, jobs, our creative industry, and how we can position AI as a catalyst for work, not as a threat to it. I was given 4 hours to speak, but I'm trying to compress it in 2 hours, so forgive the speed. The AI labor nexus in Ghana, sectoral perspectives. Trust me, we'll be done in less than 2 hours. Artificial intelligence is often discussed in abstract terms: algorithms, automation, neural networks, and machine learning models. While these concepts are foundational, they often obscure real-world implications of AI. At its core, AI refers to systems that can perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as recognizing speech, making decisions, translating language, and detecting patterns in data. These systems learn from large data sets, adapt through feedback, and improve over time, making them increasingly central to how our economies function and evolve. In Ghana, AI must be understood not through its jargon, but through its impact on work. We are not just talking about futuristic robotics or autonomous cars. We are talking about how people in Aguna Nkwanta, Tamale, Hohoi will earn a living in 5 to 10 years. We are talking about jobs, who gets them, how they change, and what skills they require. You are going to Rock City next week.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm transferring my PA here. Thank you. That's a fair question. The Rock City with who? In Ghana, AI must be understood not through its jargon, but through its impact on work. We are not just talking about futuristic robotics or autonomous cars. We are talking about how people in Aguna Nkwanta, Tamale, or Hohoi will earn a living in 5 to 10 years. We are talking about jobs, who gets them, how they change, and what skills they require. Let me highlight 4 sectors where AI is already influencing the future of work in Ghana and where strategic investment can make the difference. Agriculture. Agriculture is the largest employer, engaging approximately 33% of the total workforce and contributing about 20% of the country's GDP. This is as per Statistical Service 2022. Yet, despite its centrality in livelihoods and food security, it remains one of the least digitized sectors of the economy. The sector is characterized by fragmented value chains, minimal data integration, and limited access to intelligence. When I talk about AI in farming, I'm not talking about automating the cutlass and the hoe. During my tenure at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, we launched the second phase of the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative. This wasn't about distributing fertilizer. It was about building the foundation for a smart, data-responsive agricultural system. One of the key pillars of this transformation was the development of the Ghana Agriculture and Agribusiness Platform, the first of its kind in the country, and the World Bank intends to deploy it throughout Africa. The platform enables access to agronomic devices, weather insights, supply chain logistics, and real-time market information while enhancing transparency, traceability, and farmer coordination. Go to ghaap.com and you will understand what I'm talking about. This digital backbone can be further augmented with artificial intelligence. AI-enabled crop health apps, for instance, can be developed by students, which will allow farmers to detect diseases using photos taken with their phones. Machine learning models can predict optimal planting windows based on climate data. Price forecasting algorithms can empower farmers to time their harvest for better market returns. These tools are not futuristic. They are urgently needed in a sector grappling with climate variability, land degradation, and post-harvest losses. That is job created. If adopted to scale, they can transform agriculture from a subsistence activity into a data-driven, youth-attractive economic engine. But imagine going forward. Imagine farmers using AI-powered mobile apps that diagnose crop diseases with a photo, or machine learning models that predict market prices based on weather and regional demand. These are not luxuries, they are necessities in a region facing climate variability, again, land degradation, and supply chain inefficiencies. Integrating AI into agriculture can reduce post-harvest losses, increase productivity, and most importantly, make farming a high-tech profession attractive to young people. You see where the job is? Exactly. Education and youth employment, building adaptive learners. On the second challenge, the opportunity is education. Ghana's educational system is at the crossroads. We are still producing graduates for a 20th century economy, true and poor. While the 21st century world is demanding coders, data scientists, ethical hackers, and AI ethicists. The current government is pushing a 1 million coders program. If they succeed in implementing it well, it will be good for the country. We also found out when students are guided properly, AI tools enhance engagement, learning engagement, problem-solving skills, and even digital confidence. However, we found significant hesitation rooted in mistrust and lack of awareness. This tells us something very important. We must not only teach AI, we must demystify it. We must train teachers, update the syllabi, and create sandbox environments where students can experiment with AI tools, ethically and creatively. Education must shift from memory-based to inquiry-based, from passive to participatory. If we get this right, AI will not just change how we teach, it will change how our youth think and work. For the public sector, and this is to my colleagues in Parliament and in government, the public sector remains both central to employment and vital to service delivery, and yet it often suffers from inefficiency, corruption, and resource misallocation. AI can change this. Imagine a civil service where government portals are powered by chatbots that answer queries 24/7. Imagine ministries using predictive analytics to anticipate citizens' needs. or district assemblies tracking sanitation and education outcomes in real time. These are not mere conveniences. They are systems that can build trust in government. From my PhD work on technology adoption in Ghana's public institutions, Acheampong and Beatty 2020, one consistent lesson emerged: digital systems work best when those who use them understand them and why they matter. AI is no exception. It must be introduced through proper stakeholder engagements, feedback loops, and transparent government. For the creative industry, media industries, Ghana's AI goldmine. That is where it is. Lastly, let me speak directly to the community here at the University of Media and Communication, UNIMAC. You are entering a world where AI can script video scenes, compose music, automate translations, and analyze audience preferences. This will not only replace your creativity, but it will reshape how it is monetized, distributed, and protected. AI can help Ghana's creative economy scale globally. We can produce culturally authentic content, localize it for diverse audience, and compete on global platforms using AI-enhanced tools. But beyond creativity, AI also holds transformative power for truth and democracy. With the right tools, journalists can use AI to detect misinformation, trace the origins of fake news, and monitor political speech at scale. Fact-checking can become faster, deeper, and more accessible. Media houses can use AI not just to reach wider audiences, but to serve them more ethically. With context-aware reporting, bias detection algorithms, and data-driven investigations that strengthen democratic accountability. To seize these opportunities, we need creative entrepreneurs who are not afraid to work with machines, and institutions like UNIMAC can provide that training, ethics, and innovation to shape this new frontier of AI-enabled storytelling and public trust. AI is here. Harnessing its potential in Ghana is not just a question of technology. It is fundamentally a question of readiness. Readiness is not a switch that turns on overnight. It is a continuum, a progressive buildup of capacity, leadership, collaboration, and ethical infrastructure that enables a nation to adopt, adapt, and lead in AI innovations. Too often, readiness is misunderstood as merely acquiring new tools or hardware. However, true AI readiness comprises not only technological preparedness, but also non-technical enablers. It requires visionary political leadership that integrates that digital transformation into national development goals. It requires multi-stakeholder collaboration, bringing together government, private sector, academia, and civil society to co-create adaptive policies and inclusive deployment strategies. Readiness further demands legal frameworks to protect privacy, prevent algorithmic bias, and uphold transparency in decision-making. And it must be backed by financial investment to support capacity building, research, and development. Lastly, not the last part of my speech, I'm going on. From my doctoral research on technology adoption in Ghana, one key insight emerged. Institutions often fail, not due to the lack of tools, but due to the lack of alignment between people, processes, and priorities. AI deployment succeeds when implementers understand the system, when workflows are realigned to accommodate change, and when beneficiaries are involved early. Let me move on quickly and conclude. With a message to the youth. To the students here today, your role in Ghana's AI future is not a supporting one. It is central. You are the storytellers, coders, designers, campaigners, and watchdogs of our time. AI will not just change the tools you use, it will change the terrain on which you compete, collaborate, and create. Take note of this. As future communicators and digital leaders, I challenge you to see AI not merely as a subject to study, but as a language to master. Use it to amplify truth, not misinformation. Use it to spotlight. Use it as a subject to study, but as a language. Spotlight Ghanaian creativity, not suppress creativity. Use it to advocate for inclusion, not amplify bias. Whether you enter journalism, advertising, PR, or filmmaking, you must learn to wield these tools with ethics, not to come out and set agenda for politicians. Courage and authenticity. Do not fear the future. Define it, shape it, lead it. Ghana's AI story will be incomplete without your voice. This is why your readiness is not optional, but a national strategy. The future of work in Ghana will be shaped by those who ask the right questions of intelligence systems, challenge algorithmic decisions with critical thought, and apply digital tools to local problems with global relevance. AI is not merely changing industries. It is redefining what it means to be employable, entrepreneurial, and that means time to go. Whether you are scripting a documentary, running a grassroots campaign, building a social enterprise, or hosting a podcast, AI will influence how you ideate, execute, and scale. So embrace it, not passively, but purposefully, because your ability to adapt, learn continuously, and lead ethically in this AI era is what will determine Ghana's competitiveness and cohesion in the decades ahead. Artificial intelligence is no longer an abstract concept or a distant innovation. It is a present reality, reshaping the fabric of work in Ghana, from ride-hailing platforms like Uber and Bolt to transforming urban transport. AI-driven platforms like ChatGPT changing how students learn and research, and agri-tech firms like Farmerline deploying precision tools to improve farming outcomes. AI is actively disrupting our daily lives. The changes are not happening in isolation. They are a signaling larger shift in how value is created, decisions are made, and services are delivered in our economy. Find a space in that and fit in it. As we look forward to a future of work, the implications are profound. Traditional roles are evolving, new job categories are emerging, and skills once considered optional are now indispensable. The 21st century Ghanaian worker must not only be digitally aware, but fluent in algorithms, able to collaborate with machines, make data-informed decisions, and innovate in an environment shaped by constant technological change. AI will not eliminate work. And I repeat, AI will not eliminate work. It will only reshape it. The real question is, Will you be ready? Readiness, as we've explored, is not just about the technology. It is about trust, leadership, policy, infrastructure, and human capital. It is about building institutions that can absorb the change, fostering an education system that equips students for tomorrow's economy, and creating a national culture that sees innovation not as a threat, but as a pathway to prosperity. Readiness means involving young people in AI development, building ethical safeguards, and ensuring that rural and underserved communities are not left behind in the digital revolution. In conclusion, everybody at the back is smiling. That's a powerful statement. In conclusion, the time to act is now. Let us coordinate our national efforts through a Ghana AI Futures Task Force. Let us integrate AI literacy into our education system and build public trust in AI through clear, inclusive dialogue. Let us support innovation by investing in homegrown research and solutions. And let us empower our young people to continue to use ChatGPT. Not just to survive here at Unimac, but also to survive in the age of AI and lead it when they leave the shores of Unimac. AI is not our destiny. Our choices are. AI is not our destiny. Our choices are. If we move with vision and unity, Ghana will not merely adapt to the AI revolution, it will shape it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time.
We can do it better. We can do it better. Yes, he deserves a standing ovation. We can do it better. That indeed was powerful.
In fact, Dr. Bryan Acheampong, the message in here very powerful. The future doesn't belong to machines. It belongs to humans who know how to work with machines. Yes, very deep and powerful. You see what I'm saying? AI era and I see you won't win, you know. In fact, I be clear AI no about be taking over like employment and ideas in the pie no na AI into bema and MPR reduce in terms of human resources. Ebi the fear eba ebi mu enemy adwuma there be AI no wo se beboa ma wo adwuma simple nti ese usua na onim se ne use AI. And yes, AI can be some wrong information. On Saturday, no. And see, some message we are Dr. Bryan Acheampong at by the keynote address. I'm not only you must full share, you know. Very, very powerful. And I shall link and subscribe to the channel. I'm K Lover Media Lovers TV Africa. Thanks for watching.